Welcome, Aries. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your new moon and Sagittarius reading. As I've titled it, The Quest for Meaning, that we're all exploring during this new moon, which will be occurring on the end of November, the first day of December, depending on where you are in the world. I am happy to have you here. This is a general reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, information for that will be in the description box below, where I'm featuring a half-off sale through the end of the year. And thank you to all of you who are taking advantage of that. It's deeply appreciated and is very supportive of me. So let's get started, Aries, with your overall energy for this new moon. The Seven of Swords. What occurs to me is that you are sussing out your enemies. I think you're understanding those who resist your ideas, who do not support you, who have opposing ideas, but do not have the integrity to face you, confront you, or be honest, straightforward, or truthful about what their objections might be. Instead, they might resort to underhanded dismissals, discredit, not taking you seriously, or outright theft, particularly of your intellectual property. So this feels a little bit like a warning, and this is in part because of the growth you've experienced in aligning your beliefs and ideas with what you believe to be the greater good. Your generosity of spirit, quite literally, is something that is threatening to others. And for many of us, we have experienced that around the world in our various social environments where the rise of a kind of totalitarianism seems to be occurring ever more frequently. In your personal life, you are steeled up for this and you're ready for this. You know you're on the path. It's important to you that you feel that you are doing the right thing for the right reasons, and indeed you are. In your 10th house, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. Indeed, your world has changed. The way people see you is changing. In many ways, I believe you've stepped up from the role of rebel to the role of radical revolutionary, depending on what area or field of activity that you are known for. This can be your work, your community activism, your presence in your region. This is a way in which you are actually realizing the karma of your smaller resistances throughout your life. So as an Aries, you have a strong individualistic streak, which has allowed you psychically to explore the perimeter of ideas, to pioneer areas that others are fearful of. And because of those many, many explorations, you are now seeing this as part of a larger mission, purpose for your activity, your effort here on Earth. In the first house, we have the Nine of Staffs. Nine of Staffs is describing how hard you've worked to gain this inspiration, this insight for this growth. This has not been easy. You've had to fight. This is almost like an addiction to the struggle. For some of you, it may not be an addiction to the struggle so much as always ready with your dukes up, always ready to put someone in their place, always ready to speak out against what you perceive to be injustice. And you're not always correct, but your heart is always often coming from a good place. And that is where I feel you are arriving now, where you may have in the past come from a place of uh, conceptual resistance. I believe you've understood over your experiences that this is personal, as in the personal is political. And from that vantage, this really softens and in many ways fortifies your resistance to the status quo and your determination to beat your own path and align yourself with others that are in sync with you. In the fourth house, the Two of Staffs. Forgive my voice. It is a dark and windy, stormy day here this late November. The Two of Staffs in your home is really describing the way that you have really come to solidify your expertise, your knowledge, your wisdom, who you know you are. You've really worked hard at identifying that and staying true to, in many ways, your individual streak. No matter how collectively you are aligned, you have intense allegiance and loyalty to your family, your community, your culture, your heritage. This is where you're coming from, and you're taking the wisdom of this lineage and you're facing it towards an unfamiliar arena so that you want to grow, you want to expand, you don't want to stay in the same place that you're at. You know that it is ready, it is time for you to move out. And there are a number of fears attached to that. But you are willing to face them when you really consider that you've been doing this for a very long time, and now you're ready to be more public facing, be more service oriented in the way that you are offering your gifts. In the seventh house, the house of your relationships, significant relationships, the Three of Cups is really describing the incredible loving support that you have, that you recognize in the face of all this tumultuous growth and energy and alignment intellectually and spiritually with the larger world, with a greater sense of community or collectivity with the world. You are celebrating those who keep you safe, who protect you, who allow you to be vulnerable, and recognize that that is the seed of your strength. You are loved and you are loving, and you at this time are really surrounding yourself with those that are most intimate and connected to you in the best way, that acknowledges the beauty and abundance of life now, not later. If this reading is resonating for you, Aries, please like this video, please share this with others. And please subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. It is greatly appreciated. And I pulled the gratitude card. Such a beautiful card. I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. So this is really the pulling off the last words around celebrating the abundance of your life now. You're very aware that nothing can be taken for granted, that your life perhaps has been rich and rewarding to date, and that you are growing in that regard, advancing the availability, the access to your services and gifts, the opportunities to learn from others. But it is about being present in the moment. I'm going to clarify the Nine of Staffs in the first house and clarify that with the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is describing a sense of anxiety, concern that you may be experience as you steel yourself up for what feels to be a fight, a battle. This is, in many ways, uh, I kind of backtrack from thinking about an addiction to the struggle, but I'm thinking more about the ways in which you have so often resisted the status quo and that you have uh, and done that in consideration, in opposition to what you knew to be the opinions and expectations of others. Although you've learned a lot from that conditioning, those environments in which you had to make your own way, there's still a tremendous amount of uh, over analysis, overthinking that is keeping you tense and perhaps is uh, uh, asking you to be more present in the moment. Allow your phenomenal intuition to work for you. You know all the stories, the opinions, the ideas of others. You will undoubtedly encounter more along the way, but you already know what's best for you. And you already know the way your heart directs you. And this is asking you to allow yourself to let your intuition cut through the noise. In the fourth house, the Two of Staffs is clarified by the Page of Cups. This is emphasizing something that has come up for you often for many of those of you that are creatives, your imagination, the immense amount of uh, energy that you've expended striking out on your own, being your own person, pioneering something new, if that's relative to a family of origin or a professional direction or lifestyle. And this is a kind of dropping those defenses and opening up your heart to your more creative, imaginative, playful, hopeful uh, flow, so that in many ways you are feeding the creative urges that you have, whether you're a creative or not. Everything you do has your own particular creative stamp on it, whether you're a business owner, a parent, or a teacher. And this is something that you're allowing yourself to experience as part of a healing and a counter to all of the resistance that you're aware of so much comprises who you identify yourself as. In the seventh house, the Three of Cups is clarified by the King of Wands. This is all about the confidence that you exude, the strength, the passion that you exhibit when you are among your intimates, when you are in your zone, when you are receiving the love of those that care for you, when you are allowing yourself to be vulnerable so that there is that protected, safe exchange of deep concerns, ideas, your imagination, your difficult emotions and experiences that you can process with these people who love you and that you love. This is also about a degree of leadership that you take among those friends, those colleagues, or family members, partners in your life that is about leading the way to greater growth. This is not about accumulating power, but it's about leading the way to the light. Very much in the spirit of this new moon in Sagittarius. And the 10th house is clarified. The Wheel of Fortune is clarified by the King of Pentacles. It's interesting that there is a way in which you are stabilizing this sense of enlightenment and alignment that you now have been identified externally with for a long time. There's a way that you are concretizing the way that you have built up the positive karma, the positive relationships and uh, activities with your community, your collective, your team, so that you are in a position of being generous about your process. You are comfortable. Your comfort is number one for you, whatever setting you're in. And you're not abandoning that because you actually understand that being comfortable, being cared for, being protected is part of what allows you to be generous with others. It affords you the protection that you deserve, the security and stability that you are worthy of. I'm going to finish off this reading, Aries, with a flora and fauna of Africa and hope that this reading has gained you some insight. If you've enjoyed this reading, I will be attaching another video, another reading for your enjoyment to the end screen. So please look for that if you're interested. And I pulled the golden backed frog, and the keyword is ambition. This is really a kind of summation for the position that you see yourself in. Absolutely a builder, a creator of something that ushers in a new regime of ideas, of opportunity, of access for your community, the world in some way. The card reads, things are changing quickly, embrace it. Release negative emotions and commit to new beginnings. Take a leap of faith. Thank you so much, Aries, for this beautiful reading. Until next time, namaste.